I don't know what's going on with Facebook because they've blocked me for some really stupid reason because what I said didn't break any sort of policy, then whatever. I just watched a video about the Mark of the Beast, and it kind of occurred to me that it would be nice to actually get a tattoo done that is of 666. And, technically, I don't really want a tattoo. Well, I do, but I don't want a tattoo. But I would like to have some. I would like to have a tattoo. I've always kind of wanted a tattoo, small one, but I never really had like a reason to get one, and I never really had any like friend to motivate me to get one. But I feel like this is a motivation to get one, which is the Mark of the Beast one, which is 666. Now, to me, that kind of means live beyond 60. Now, something that I really don't want to do, and I keep being at two minds whether or not I actually want to live to 60. Um, but I think I should get it just because um, I think I think my life could be better if circumstances were different. So yeah, as a reminder to that, I'd probably get it in a place where I can't see it, but I would say there, not on the bone because I think the bone would probably hurt, but there's like a bit of muscle there, and so I'd probably get a tattoo 666 just in small writing, just there. That would be. I would do it now, but I I I don't I don't know if I should do it now. Like I don't feel like there's enough motivation or reason to do it. But if I got onto like a Big Brother show, it would be kind of cool or funny if I got really drunk and then got it. It's always best probably to do it when you're drunk because it probably wouldn't hurt as much. Um, but yeah, I that would be something that I would do. And I would actually be doing it for a really good reason because I believe it means, live beyond 60. If I get it, I can encourage other people to get it too. I don't know if I'd want everyone to encourage everyone to get it, but um, yeah, if people believe me, it would be nice. And if they like tattoos, it would be nice to encourage them to get tattoo. Just I wouldn't say the hand necessarily because I think the hand is quite. My hands are small and there's not really much space. I mean, you could do it in between the fingers. That would be another place. I noticed a lot of singers seem to have the word shush under there. But yeah, do I really want to put it in a place where I'm pretty sure the shush is something about a secret against me, so I don't know if I'd really want to have it there. But there seems like nice, and I won't actually see it that much. Like I'll see it if I do that, but if I'm just most of the time, I wouldn't be able to see it because it's kind of hidden. It's either that or the back of the neck, but I would never see it if it's at the back of the neck, and I think it's something that I should be reminded of. Might encourage me to be a bit more positive, but I don't know. But yeah, um, I've also really had a bad journey. When I got back, I went to Canada first, and I didn't. There was nothing in the forms that I had about needing to, even if you're not getting off at Canada. If you're just swapping planes, you needed a visa, and that was really annoying. Luckily, I got there with 2.5 hours to spare. I was trying to aim for 3 hours before, but I got there 2.5 hours because I the bus problem. So, but yeah, I got there 2.5 hours before, and I managed to buy this sort of £7 visa, which is really annoying. How they don't say like how are you supposed to if you've never been to Canada before, how are you supposed to know that you need a visa just to be able to land and stay in Canada for like a few hours before your next plane? And there was also another problem, which is that I had like a suitcase, but a hand luggage suitcase, a rolly hand luggage suitcase. But I left my rec spare in the chair area. So I went back to get it. I was literally gone about a minute, maybe less, and I came back and I found that some guard had taken the suitcase and put it through a door and then put it down some stairs. And they'd actually put it because it had an old label from like years ago or whatever. They put it on some luggage thing to take it away to put on a different flight, which was like, what? I was gone a minute and you've taken my bag and taken it off. And I managed to get it back after about 10 minutes. And then they were like, oh, we can't just bring it up the stairs and put it through the door. And I was like, why? You were the one who took it out the door and put it down the stairs. And so that was a bit of a disaster because they then said that they couldn't put it back on the plane, or they could put it back on the plane, but it has to be checked in through like the downstairs luggage, which is probably actually a good thing because I did have one too many bags because of all the fancy dress costumes that I had. I did have one bag more than I should have done. But yeah, I kind of agreed to that. The problem is getting that bag back. There was like a whole 1 hour wait, so I was waiting for when I got to, not the first plane, but when I got onto the second plane, when I got back to Dublin, because it was three planes back, two to Dublin and then one to Birmingham, because I think Birmingham's a smaller airport. But it was a good one. I'm glad I did that, because otherwise I would have had to go to London, and it's a 3 hour journey to London. I probably would have ended up going the night before and having to spend a night in my parents' house. Plus, my parents actually live quite a long way from Gatwick, so it saved me quite a lot going from Birmingham. But yeah, the problem was that Ryanair says you have to check in 2 hours before. Now, there's like six different planes that I took to get to LA and back, three both ways, and there was four different lines, and all three of them, none of them mentioned that you need to check in online only before 2 hours beforehand. So I didn't know that you had to check in online. If I was only just taking one plane, one Ryanair, I would have done the research and found it out. But because there was like loads of different planes, I was just like, oh, it would be fine, and it wasn't, because I ended up waiting an hour to get this bag back. I found that I got charged £55 just to check in, which is so annoying. If you bought the ticket and if the desk is empty, and I don't understand why they can't just check you in. I mean, isn't that a I felt like cheated, like there was nothing on this eForm Dreams about having to check in online. There was nothing about, doing it 2 hours earlier, and I just felt like it was just an extra way to make more money. Although I probably should have paid an extra 50, £60 for that extra bag anyway. So but yeah, it's just that was from a different line. They should have charged me at this second line. I don't know, but it's very annoying, and I have very bad luck with everything, it turns out. But at least the visa did go through. At least I typed the password in right. Although they actually made you type in your password number twice, so that way you couldn't make a mistake. Because if it matched, if it doesn't match, then they know it's wrong. But yeah, anyway, yes. What else? Yeah, I don't know.